Hi, this is a tutorial of the FY23 PHLpreK Expense Report form. You'll see at the top, this one says centers. There are two versions, one for centers and one for families. Just make sure you're using the right version before you start this template. First, you'll enter your site name by using the drop-down menu. If you do not see your name, you may be using the wrong template, or if there's any discrepancies, please contact PHLpreK at phmc.org. So you'll select your site name. You'll select the time frame that you're reporting on. This report is intended to be used for the mid-year and the year-end. So you can, your choices here are mid-year and year-end. So if you select mid-year, you'll see here the year-end will be grayed out. If you select year-end, you'll see mid-year here is grayed out. So we'll select mid-year here. You'll type in the date that you're submitting the report. Next, you'll type in the total budget amount. This should be the amount that you received on your contract. If you received a contract amendment between the time that you are reporting on, you should use that updated amount. You can also click here on the side for the instructions on how to complete the expense form. So column A shows all of the budget line item expenses. You'll see 4 different category headings here in navy. So they are program staff expenses, program other expenses, occupancy expenses, and then other expenses. These categories align with the tabs on the bottom. So if I want to enter my program staff expenses, you'll enter all of these line items in the program staff expense tab here. So if you click on it, you can enter those. You'll see all of those line items in the drop-down menu. Next, you're going to add your approved annual budget amount and all the line items. So we'll enter that here. Couple line items, and you'd enter that all the way down. At the bottom, you'll see that there is a total. This total should match with your total contracted amount up here at the top. For these columns here, the mid-year actuals variance and the year-end actuals and variance, you do not write anything in these columns. It will not allow you. You'll get an error message if you try to type something in. That's because these are populated by all of these expense tabs. So if we wanted to enter in teacher salaries, we'd go to the program staff expense tab. Again, you choose from the drop-down menu. Choose teacher salaries. You'd write in the position. And then since I'm reporting on the mid-year, I would type in the expenses that were from July to December. You do not need to write anything here if you're reporting on the mid-year. Because this, as indicated, is only for entering expenses when you're doing the year end. So you'll see the year-to-date total here. There are also subtotals at the bottom for reference. And then if you go back to the top, to the summary tab, you're going to see that expense reflected here. For any variances over or under 10%, you're going to need to write a justification. For this one, for the mid-year, the budget assumes that you would be spending about half of that budget. So the variance here, this 15,000 is half of 30,000. So the budget variance here is 0. If we go back to this tab and we had some overspending, you'd see this change to a 33% variance. So that is fine. There's lots of reasons why there might be variances at the mid-year and year-end. You just need to type in a justification. And so we would type in something like needed to. So you type in your expense, your justification there. Then you go on to the allocation method. The allocation methods, this is a drop down. You can select children, space, time, or other. So if I had this teacher who had 10 children in her classroom and they were all PHLpreK, I might select children and then add 100%. If the teacher had 20 children in her classroom and 10 of them were PHLpreK, 10 were another funding stream such as Head Start, I might still select children, but then that would be 50%. So you continue on through the line items and enter in your expenses on the expense tabs. If you were adding in for the year end, and remember, the intention is to use this same form for the mid-year. And if you have to complete a year end, that you would use this same form. So you could add on, you'll see here, the mid-years would be grayed out. For program staff expenses, you would just add in the remainder of the amount, or the amount that you spent in January to June. That would populate here. Again, it would be a same variance here, and it would be a similar justification as the mid-year, so I wouldn't need to change this. You can also update it if things change throughout the year. You can update your justifications. So if after you've completed, please check everything over to make sure it's correct. Make sure you have that total budget amount here equaling the total budget amount here. And make sure you've entered all of your expenses in the expense tabs attached. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the PHLpreK inbox at phlprek@phmc.org. And thank you for watching.